Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into today's video. So for today, I'm super excited because we're going to be doing some extra long duck nails. And the reason I'm so excited is because this will be my second time attempting to do duck nails on this channel. So yeah, we are kind of still a beginner at this, or at least I am. I can't speak for anyone else. The first time I ever did duckies was in my Swarovski crystal video with the butterflies, and that set was absolutely stunning. And I still really love it to this day. However, I do feel like maybe they could have looked a little bit better in terms of the structure of my nails, because again, I've only done it once and I didn't really know what I was doing for certain. So hopefully today I can actually try and do better duck nails, because those were a little bit not great. So yes, that is what we're going to be doing today. But before we get into it, I do just want to remind you all that of course I will leave all of my resources and links for Palestine, Congo, and Sudan in my description box, and I will try and put it in a pinned comment as well. I do kind of want to mention it maybe every video. And if I do forget, I will try and leave it in the description box and in my pinned comments, of course. I do just want to try and keep the conversation going because it is almost the holiday season and people aren't really focused on these issues as much as they were. And that is very, very disheartening. And I've seen a lot of people kind of turn their backs in moments like these because of course we're all exhausted trying to make things work. But I promise you there will be time to grieve in the future. But we have to keep our eyes on the situation. We have to stay vigilant and we have to keep reaching out and spreading awareness and taking affirmative action. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly mention that. And for anyone who's annoyed about that, get used to it because I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to keep doing this because it matters. I do not feel like it's appropriate to just continue on without saying something, right? Because we are witnessing, again, I've said this in a previous video, but we're witnessing a very pivotal moment in history. But we have to keep the conversation alive. We need to be upset. We need to be driven mad in order for things to change. So that is why I keep bringing it up. And also there may be new viewers who may not exactly know what's going on for whatever reason. I'm not going to judge if you don't know what's going on, but like I'm low-key judging just a little bit. But anyways, like I said, all of my resources that I have found and collected will of course be in my description box and in a pinned comment. And I will also leave my video on Palestine in the cards above. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So here is what my natural nails are looking like. And as you can see, I already have my matte peel off base coat fully applied. And I also did go ahead and size out all of my nail tips for today. And as you can see, I do have 2 pairs of sets. And that is because, again, we are doing some long duck nails. And I want to use these tips to help extend the nail first. So to glue on these nail tips, I will be using some base coat. Okay, so I have the first set of the tips applied, and before I glue on these tips, I'm actually going to go over this with a layer of base coat. So the base coat is on, and now I'm going to go ahead and start cutting these down. I'm probably going to end up cutting off most of the tip. So I will probably cut it down to about here. I think this is a pretty good length. So yeah, I think that's good. And the plan of this is to use this tip as an extension, and then I would end up gluing on the duck nail tip on the end like this. So I'm just going to cut down the rest of these nails. So now we're going to work on gluing on these nail tips. But before I do, I'm actually just going to sand the very edge of this nail tip before I glue these on. This is just to make sure that the nail tip is actually being able to stick, because these are plastic and they don't really stick too well. And while I'm here, I'm actually just going to kind of bring in the edge of my pinky nail because it does kind of stick out a little bit. And And y'all, I don't know if you guys can hear this, but my upstairs neighbors are stomping like absolute maniacs. I don't know what's wrong with them, but they do this every day. I don't know what it is. Okay, so my nails are prepped and I'm gonna go ahead and glue on these duck nail tips using some nail glue. And for that, I'm gonna be using some McCart nail glue. And to be honest, the reason I'm using nail glue is because I really don't feel like hearing these on. And I am kind of like bending it a little bit and giving it more of a curve because these are not really sticking too well to this curved nail tip. So hopefully this works. Oh gosh, now my gloves are stuck together. Okay, so that did not work. And it sticked better to my gloves than it did my actual nail. So let's try again. So instead of gluing these on, I'm actually just going to cure these on like I probably should have. And before I cure them, I'm actually just going to bend the tip a little bit like this so that it sticks a little bit better to this curve. Okay, so the tips are on and I know they look really crazy, but this is where we're going to go ahead and start shaping these up. So instead of shaping these up with a nail file, I'm actually going to go back in with my fine grit sanding band just to help bring in the sides and also give the edge a little bit of a C curve. And I'm also going to be blending out the overlap between these two tips. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm finally back and this is what we're working with. As you can see, it's not perfect at all, but I think we are in a good enough space to go ahead and jump into the application. As you can see from my pointer finger, I definitely did make it a little bit too tapered here. So once I get onto the application, I will go ahead and try and fix that. But to be honest, I think I did a pretty okay job. They're not too shabby, at least for my second time around. So yeah, let's go ahead and get straight into the application. Okay, so here is what my application is looking like, and I really love this shape when it's long. Like, it just looks so good. I don't know what it is, but it just looks so good. And I literally just went to go show my mom, and she's like, oh no. But y'all, these are so cute. I don't know what she's talking about. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and start shaping these up. And as you can see, I already have my dust collector. And what I decided to do is to put the baby wipe underneath the top, and hopefully that makes a difference. I don't know, we'll see. So because of the shape, I think the best thing to do is to use my carbide bit to help me correct the shape and to also seal the cuticles and just smooth out the entire nail. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna go ahead and start doing. Of course, if you want, you can always go in with a hand file, but I find that because it's so curved and because the nail file is so straight, it's a little bit more difficult. So I'm just gonna use my carbide bit instead. Okay, so my nails are nice and shaped up. And to be honest, that took a lot longer than I anticipated, but I really wanted to make sure that I got the shape right, and it definitely does look really good, so I'm proud of myself. So before I get into the nail art, I'm just going to quickly wipe off my nails, and I'm gonna do what I did like 2 videos ago. I'm going to use this brush to help get rid of like any of that excess dust and the sticky monomer that gets stuck around the cuticle area. And someone actually said I could use the spray on like hand sanitizer, so maybe I'll get one of those, because pouring alcohol onto my brush like this is kind of odd, but it works, so I don't really care that much. All right, so here's what it is looking like, and let's finally go ahead and get into this nail art. So here's everything that we're gonna need for today's nail set. So in order to create that light olive green, I'm actually gonna end up mixing this green gel polish with this cream color. And just in case I want to deepen that green, I also have some black gel polish. I have a brown gel polish for the cheetah and the zebra print, some top coat, this gold chrome gel paint. And inside of this, I'm going to be using these little gold pearls. And I also have the chains for this nail set. And lastly, I have these little charms here. Now, this is kind of something that I may add in if I decide to, but I'm not exactly too sure on these because some of the charms in here are quite strange. So yes, that is everything. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is create the green ombre. And to do that, I'm actually gonna mix a few colors together. So the first color I'm gonna be using is Evergreen from Nail Reserve LA. I don't really need too much of this because it's a pretty light green, so I mainly just need this white. And I'm just gonna go ahead and mix these 2 colors together. Okay, so this is the green that I came up with, and to be honest, I actually mixed in the green, the cream color, the brown, and I also used this color from Madame Glam called Fifth Avenue. So yeah, I had to mix together 4 colors to get this. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and start stippling this color on. And as you guys know, I like to use my fan brush for this step because I don't have the airbrush tool. So a few people have actually asked me if I have ever used a sponge for this. And I think I have one time, and I didn't really like it because I felt like I couldn't really control the sponge as easily as I can with this. So for anyone wondering, yes, I have tried it, but I do personally like using my fan brush a little bit better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a little bit of this green onto my fan brush, and I'm gonna start at the very tip of the nail and just stipple this on. And I'm just gonna tap even more lightly as I get closer to my cuticle area. This is gonna help make it nice and sparse and sort of like fade it out. Okay, so here is what the first layer is looking like, and as you can see, it's pretty light, but I am gonna go ahead and flash cure in between each layer and then go in with more and more until I build up the opacity that I want. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and flash cure this for about 10 to 15 seconds. All right, so I'm gonna go in with my second layer, and as I do more layers, I'm gonna focus more and more on the tip of the nail. Now, to be honest, it probably would have been a lot easier if I just like did this as an acrylic ombre and painted this on before I did my acrylic application, but I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm not that great with ombres, and I try not to do them just because I'm not good at it. But if you want to save some time on your nail art process, I definitely do think that an acrylic ombre would be a good second option. Okay, so here is what the ombre is looking like, and I only did about 2 coats of this, so I definitely mixed too much of this color. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the cheetah print and the zebra. So I'm just going to take the same brown and put this onto my mixing plate. And to draw on the animal print, I'm going to be using this short liner brush. Now in this set, there is a mixture of the zebra and the cheetah on different nails. So feel free to mix them up. If you want, you can do like a pattern, like do zebra, zebra, cheetah, cheetah, or you can like mix it up on every single one of the nails. I'm probably gonna end up doing that. So I think for my pointer finger, I'm going to do a mix of both the zebra and the cheetah. Okay, I don't like this color, one, and I don't like this brush. Okay, so I'm actually gonna mix a little bit of black into this brown because I do feel like it's a little bit too light. And I decided that I'm actually going to go in with this long liner brush instead. So let's try this one more time. Okay, so I think this is all of the zebra that I'm going to add for this nail. And then I'm going to go in with my dotting tool to create the cheetah pattern. Now the cheetah pattern is a little bit difficult to explain, but it is just kind of like bean shapes, like a collection of bean shapes and dots, if that makes sense. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and cure this. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing to the rest of my nails. And like I said, I'm gonna be mixing it up. So pretty much what I did to my pointer finger is what I'm gonna be doing to the rest. So for these 2 fingers, I'm actually gonna go in the opposite direction. So it'll be tilted like this instead of like this. So I'm thinking I kind of want to use, I think I might want to use these ones, but it honestly doesn't look like there's a lot. So I might mix this one and this more like muted gold together. Maybe. Then again, I might just go for this one. So we'll see first. Okay, firstly, I have to figure out how to get these out. So my chain is a lot thinner than in the reference photo. So I was kind of considering maybe mixing in more of the gold beads and also maybe incorporating this, but I don't know on this yet. I might do it, but I also might not. But first, let me go ahead and start measuring this out. So basically what I'm gonna do is just lay this across my nail diagonally and just kind of measure out how much I might need. And I'm just gonna end up clipping these like apart. Now, obviously I'm not gonna use this on my entire nail. I'm gonna have some excess, but I do want to give myself a little bit of leeway. Okay, so I totally forgot to mention we are going to need some rhinestone glue. I do this in every video. I know you guys are probably so sick of me, but anyway, we're gonna need rhinestone glue for this. So I have my chains here and I'm gonna glue those on first. So I'm just, oh gosh. So I'm just gonna put the rhinestone glue on, and I'm using the animal print as kind of like my reference to how slanted I want it to be. And now I'm gonna pick up this gold chain. So I'm just gonna lay this down. So it's gonna look something like this. And I haven't cut the pieces off yet, but I kind of want to cure it first before I do that. Or actually, no, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it right now. I'm just gonna cut off any of the excess chain. And now I'm gonna add some of these larger gold beads. Now, actually, it seems like the gold beads are like laying on top of this chain. So I'm gonna try and do that. Okay, these do not want to stay on. Okay, change of plans. What I'm gonna do is take these off, and I'm gonna actually cure this chain on first. And then I'm gonna come back and glue on these gold beads. I'm just gonna go ahead and flash cure this. All right, so let's get back to these beads. Now I'm actually just gonna put the rhinestone glue on top of the beads, or on top of the chains. And then I'm gonna take these beads and just place them directly on top. Do I like this? I don't know if I like this. Maybe let's try putting it around. Maybe it needs some smaller ones to help give it some like interest. Okay, I think maybe adding some more like sizes made it look a little bit better. So I think it looks okay. I'm gonna go ahead and cure it, and maybe when I'm finished, I'll like figure out if I want to add anything else. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and flash cure this. I'm just gonna keep going and do the same thing to the rest, and then maybe I'll come back and see if I want to change anything, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I don't really think that I want to add anything else. So I'm pretty much just going to go ahead and finish this off with a layer of top coat. Okay, so the nail art is done and this is what it is looking like. I honestly think that in the end, it doesn't look too bad. I do feel like maybe if the chains were a little bit thicker, it would look a little bit better. But to be honest, it's really not that bad and I kind of like it. So to go ahead and finish this off, I'm going to go in with some cuticle oil. And that completes today's set. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this one. This set was definitely very interesting. I will say that. It came out very nice. However, I do think that maybe the chains could have been a little bit thicker and I could have like actually found what the reference photo used in order to make it just look a little bit better. But even still, I do think that these looked really nice in the end. I will say that I definitely do like the longer duck nails. I do think that it suits my hands a little bit better because my fingers are kind of long because I'm tall, so my hands are big. And doing like short duck nails, just, I don't know. I don't think I would like it. So I definitely do want to get into more long duckies because these were super, super pretty. And I do think that the more that I do them, the more I will get used to shaping them and perfecting it and just like learning more and more about this shape because I really do like it, but I'm just not that good at it yet. Of course, I would love to hear what you guys think of this nail set down in the comments. I do think that this is a very nice like fall set between the brown, the golds, and the greens, and I just really love it. But even with that being said, I do think that these nails could be worn for any season. So yes, definitely do let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I will see you guys in the next one.